Guys, I'm back out in the garage. I'm going to do my best to finish the stupid wire burners. Maybe run a switch to go ahead and power them up. I did a lot more research last night. I still cannot find a wiring harness diagram that has the right colors for this gym system. I found a few websites that I could download like a full schematic on the entire 2005. They're like $80 to buy the entire manual online, and it's not worth $80. Simple as that. Especially being that this is really the only wiring that I really have to do with the car. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and tie into the hot and ground, the accessory ground and hot that I have. That way they will only be powered up if the key is on, so they won't be able to run all the time, which would be stupid. And this box, that's the part of the gym system, it's just going to go away. I'm just going to cut the leads to the motor. The motor's rated for 12 volts. It doesn't need a super small amount of voltage or a signal or anything. It just needs power. So I'm going to do that. I'll probably put it back up on the shelf here as a time lapse. I know that's pretty well what I did yesterday, but I really need to get this done before I can close the cowl. Also, as long as this goes smoothly, which I hope it goes smoothly, I'm going to try to do the hood hinges today, so we can get the hood on. Because at that point, the body is fully together. I can start patching in the floors. I think my dad, he's still not up yet, but I think he said he was going to do the bridge across the back trunk to do that little back lip by the apron and tie it into the Explorer floor. Sorry, my sinuses are killing me this morning. The pollen's super high. So that's where I'm at. I don't know. I understand a lot of this is kind of repetitive, but that's just how stuff like this is. I mean, it just, sometimes it's trial and error, especially when you can't figure out or can't find diagrams for the electronics and crap. That's the only downside to dealing with modern cars. You used to be able to buy manuals. I mean, you used to be able to buy Haynes teardown manuals and stuff like that, which actually I guess mine is in that cabinet. I got about 15 of them for different cars I've owned. That being said, I do not have one on the Explorer because I just recently got the Explorer. It was given to me. But the old school Haynes manuals were like $40. And it legitimately had every possible diagram you could need wiring wise. Why we don't do that these days is just beyond me, other than the fact dealers don't want you to work on your own cars. And I know that sounds crazy, but they don't make money off you working on your cars. They make money when you bring your car to them. So a lot of that stuff is proprietary information that they just flat don't want you to have unless you're willing to pay. I'd be willing to pay a little bit for it, but the price they want for that downloaded document's ridiculous. They don't have any money in that aside from however long ago they uploaded it. I mean, it's really not something that should cost that much. So I want to go ahead and put you guys on a time lapse. I know that's kind of boring, but it is what it is. And when I get them up and powered, I'll cut you guys back on and let you see how everything goes. I mean, obviously there's no windshield, but you'll be able to see the motor spin, and I'll be able to test them and know that I can start figuring out the cover for the cowl and not have to worry about those motors. So, see you in the next one. back. I've got the harness soldered in on that side and on this side. I want to flip you around for a second, just in case you guys haven't seen them, which I don't know if you have or not. That's what I'm using to tie the wires. That's a solder butt splice. Basically, it's got a little blue plastic piece on either side that liquefies around the insulator to help tie it together so it can't slide out. And that's a little dab of cold melt solder. It keep heat moving back and forth. The heat shrink shrinks around the wire, and then that softens and turns into kind of a liquid and seizes into the wires. They make them in, I don't know, about 800 different sizes. I think I got these from Amazon or Harbor Freight. I don't quite remember which one, but just in case you hadn't seen them, that's what they are. They work pretty good. I used red tape on that end down there to tie my loom in because I could not find my black tape, which, you know, apparently I was just blind. But anyway, that's what that is. I'm going to go ahead and loom this short piece out, and then I want to start trying to find me a pathway inside for the toggle switch. And then I also have to find my toggle switches to see where they are at. So that's where we are. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Alright guys, this is the original harness for back here in the rear. That's the original tie-in. This is the original connector. I'm going to go ahead and solder these back together color to color because I don't trust the diagram that tells me what this was. So I'm going to be better safe than sorry. I figure I'll do a couple of these actually live in front of the camera. That way, if you haven't seen them, like I said earlier, you can see them. It's nothing fancy. It's not hard. Hardest thing is getting the wire in, because as you see here, you always got one or two that want to stick out. You just push it in to where the copper hits the solder. Then you got to find the other one the same color, which is black and white, which is this one right here. Make sure we're twisted up real nice so that it goes in well. And just slide it in. And you slide it in until it meets the copper, which actually I gotta take that one out a little bit. Actually, I might do a little bigger one. It's not wanting to go on that one with 2 wires in it. Come on. And the only real catch you got to do is make sure that both of them hit the solder. Right there. Just take your heat gun, turn it on, and back and forth. Takes a couple minutes per wire, but it's a guaranteed soldered connection. And that's what you want. You want to make sure this thing will never come loose once you do it again. You also constantly have to have it moving, because if you don't have it moving, it will burn the plastic. And you don't want that. I don't know how well you can see it, but the solder right there is starting to soften up. And there it goes. It'll go from like a real dull color to look kind of shiny. And once it does that, it's connected. As you see, the blue rings melt and they go around the insulation to help tighten it up. So that's what that is. I'll go ahead and put you back on a time lapse since I showed you that one. Give it a little tug, make sure they don't come out, and they don't. So that's exactly what I was doing up front, but back here. back again. I did a little work off screen. I'll turn you around, let you see. I did my alternator while I had my heat shrink stuff out. I went ahead and repaired that pigtail. I got a wire loom ran into the car from my switch. Comes up through here underneath the dash, through the cowl, around to a toggle switch down here. So that's where it's going to be switched at to turn the wipers on and off. So now all I got to do is get all three of these all tied together, hot to hot, ground to ground. And well, it'll actually be 2 hots off the motor to the black wire here, and the hot from the car to the green, red here. So it is what it is. Got to tie in the hot and ground, that's it. So I'm going to set you up here on the shelf again and put you back on a time lapse, but I just figured I'd cut you in real quick on what I was doing, because I realized I stopped recording because I had stopped and went and took a leak. So that's where I'm at. Hey guys, got the wipers finally tied in. It's a little more trouble than I want. I ended up just running a new hot and ground over to the battery because somewhere I have a ground broke right now. I cannot find it, and I don't want to mess with it until later. I'm assuming once I bolt everything back into place, it should be good. But flip you around. Right down there is my switch, and if you see, and that one over there does too. So I'll zoom in a little bit. Oh, maybe. I would zoom in, but my gloves are stopping me apparently. So that's basically just on and off, but that will work fine for what we're doing. Now I'm working on this. This is actually the harness that worked the mirror and the visors and whatnot, and it will fit down this down there if I take the connector off. So I'm not sure if I'm going to unpin the connector or just cut it and then re-splice it, but that's what I'm going to be working on next. As you've seen, we got that all soldered back together. Comes out up here. That's for the power mirror. Some of this is for the sunroof, which right here. Sunroof switch, which I'm not going to use, obviously. These are for the auto dimming mirror. Oh, Jesus. Here I am showing you. You're just looking in the air. Let me turn you around. Alright, that's the mirror. This is for the auto mirror because it's got an auto tinting mirror and temperature sensor. This, I believe, are both for the sunroof. Or it's the sun, well no, it's the sunroof and the dome light feature. Which the dome light I'm going to try to save. Got a little ground there that is not hooked to anything. Well, that's interesting. So I'll have to find that or ground it to the chassis up there somewhere, which might have been what it was originally. It may have been hooked straight to the chassis. I'm not sure what this is. I'll have to look on the controls. I saved all the controls for the ceiling anyway. And then, again, not really sure what that one is. I should have marked them. I'm going to assume it's self-explanatory when I get there, because most of this should have been, which is why I didn't mark it. And then that last one's the other. I don't go all the way over there. It's the visor. So this will allow me to keep all the dome lights and the visor power and the automated mirror and auto tint and temperature gauge. So, pretty neat little toy. Still playing with my wipers because I'm happy that they finally figured out what the heck is going on. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to take a breather for a second. Probably going to dress this across the roof up here and put you guys back on in a few minutes. Alright guys, I got that wire ran across just temporarily in place. I forgot to put the time lapse on, but we've been back here. Dad made up some brackets just to join the two for temporarily. We ran some screws through them. They're going to get welded here and down here on each one. But what it did is it pulled this bottom plate basically flat with the bottom of this. So now we can bridge that with sheet metal underneath there, and that'll be effectively sealed on this strip. We still obviously going to have to do some work in the corners. But all in all, it's not too bad. I don't know what this steel is made of. It's pretty thick. It's like 1/4 inch thick, and self-tappers definitely do not want to go through it, so we've been pre-drilling every single one. And they don't want to bend. We don't have a rosebud torch at the moment, so yeah, that's where we're at. It's hot. He's not feeling super hot today. I feel kind of crappy myself today. Oh, hang on, let me flip you around again. I missed something. This actually happened yesterday, but he made some little kicker bars to stiffen. So we're going to probably cut this out and bend it, tuck it all back in for the sheet metal. But yeah, that was just a little something else that I didn't mention. I forgot to mention it. So that's where we're at. I'm going to probably set you up on a time lapse now, so I don't forget, and we'll go from there. Also, I don't know if you can see it, Volkswagen bus, and Volkswagen bus, and Dodge Volkswagen bus. The rat can sitting there under its cover. So that's where we're at. See you in a minute. On the time lapse, you've probably seen me working a little bit with some sheet metal. It's aluminum, so this cannot be welded in. It's got to be screwed in. And for what it's at, it's just tying a little bit of sheet metal together, nothing structural, so it shouldn't matter. So I'll flip you around and show you my ugly sheet metal skills. Alright, this one turned out pretty decent. I was actually kind of happy with this. It just kind of bends over a couple different spots. This one I hate, but mainly I hate it because I cut this the wrong size and I was out of material, so I couldn't really fix it. But for what it is, we're going to seam seal all this, seam seal all that. I also worked underneath. You can kind of see it down there. That's another sign, street sign that pulled up. Basically just squared this up with this, sucked it up so that it was flat. Again, we're going to seam seal all that underneath there, so it should be watertight. Again, it's not the proper way to do it, but it's the way I get it done on something like this. Obviously, when we do back there, it's going to be better. It's, you know, the side plates and stuff all have to be welded. But this little area right here, this little strip, isn't super important. The rest of the body is going to be tying it all together. So that's where it is. I got my wipers on. I still did not mess with the hood latches, which I thought I was going to today. But he started working on this, and I don't know, I just decided to go ahead and work on that. So that's where I'm at for the night. It's starting to rain a little bit, so I'm going to probably call it a night because I'm pretty tired. Need dinner. It's like 5:30 now. I think I've been out here since around 7 or 8. Probably 8. So it's been pretty well a full day. So that's where we're at. I'm going to call it a night, and I will see you guys in the morning, weather permitting, you know, as long as nothing else happens. See you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.